All right. Good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. Good afternoon also to those of you on the West Coast. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. And I have a special guest with me, Steve Anderson from Third Eye Comics. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Brandon, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Yeah.
As always. So, things are wrapping up here, but I wanted to come and grab you, just to, talk briefly about, Annapolis Comic Con. I know we were talking a bit about it, off stage, so to speak. But yeah, how has this year's show been thus far?
It's been great. It's been great. Yeah, great turnout. A lot of excited people. A lot of new faces. It's been great. Very, very good. Super excited. I feels good to be back in here. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, I had another guest, on here. Shout out Ken Arnold. I just had him on here a moment ago. And the thing that's always interesting when it comes to conventions, and you could speak to this too, is a lot of times we have huge behemoth type of shows, and then we have ones that are more niche and that are smaller. And there's something to be said about a show that is not a huge behemoth, because I feel there's a better appreciation of the what is provided by that said show, because it's so easy to kind of get caught up in the, I hate to say, the superfluous stuff that is there. And don't get me wrong, it's great, but at the end of the day, it's about our comics. It's about all the folks that we have that are play such a pivotal role in the industry itself. So could you speak to that, and having kind of that feel of a large show, like a Awesome Con, which is great to say about Awesome Con, that because I remember when it was small, but these days, like, we can't put it at the same, we can't compare Awesome Con to Annapolis Comic Con or Farpoint. So can you talk to that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like it's one of those things where like everything has a place. The big shows got a place. The small shows got a place. And I mean, smaller shows are great because they're kind of like the incubators for shows that go on to be bigger. You know what I mean? And like it's a lot. It's a great, like, I like the smaller shows better myself. I like the big ones too, but the big ones. I mean, like it's nice to be able to have the time to really connect with people, and that's what I like about the smaller shows. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, we are here at Annapolis Comic Con, and there's so many shows that are down the pike. Are you able to speak to currently right now? Maybe there's some shows that for sure you want to try to hit, or maybe there's some that you haven't announced yet. Maybe that you may be hidden that you are able to share. I don't know.
I mean, so in all honesty, I mean, all the Third Eye stuff keeps me so busy that like that's kind of where my head's at. Like I live in Third Eye land almost 24/7. So like right now we're working towards Free Comic Book Day, which is May 6th. And that's gonna be crazy. We got some big stuff to announce for Third Eye. Awesome Con's coming up in June. We're excited about that. The guys at the Maryland Toy Expo are phenomenal. We're excited.
Shout out to them. Yeah, I've been there. Yes.
Yeah, and those are, I mean, I think those are probably the big ones that stand out. And then we're always very excited about doing Baltimore Comic Con. We love doing that show. I think that's one of my favorite shows to do. So I mean, those are the ones that like stand out. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool. And I want to delve in briefly. I know we were talking a bit about it offline, but there's still something to be said. Whether we're talking about the comics industry, the film industry, all the industries that that we enjoy to invest our leisure in. Whether it's in comic books, whether it's in film, whether it's in TV, go down and down and down, sports, what have you. The pandemic at that time, it's a little better now, obviously, but at the time was having such an impact on a lot of those pastimes and things that we enjoyed. So can you talk just briefly about maybe some things that you have found that have been helpful, that were helpful strategies that you had that were helpful in that time to continue to power through through that time.
Like what kept us in business?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, the biggest thing, we did a lot of different stuff. We were scrambling to see what worked. Honestly, keeping continuity with our customers, that was the number one thing. Just making sure that we were staying in contact, keeping communication. But we did home delivery, and that was, I mean, that was an undertaking because, like, I mean, you gotta, you're essentially working dispatch. So like you're building a queue of deliveries, and then you're going to do it. And it's a feature that I'd love to bring back one day for Third Eye, because there's a lot of people it'd be very beneficial for. You know,
Yeah, I was going to ask that because I know I've noticed that across the board, whether it's in whether we're talking comic book stores, whether we're talking about film festivals, Comic Cons. That was another thing. You must be psychic because I was going to get into that. Is have there been some strategies that you have that you've tried and did during that time that you're going to carry over? Because I know like with conventions and things, like there have been examples where there's been a lot of like virtual programming that they were doing just out of circumstance, but because it was something that really struck a chord with people, they're still going to keep components of that even going forward, and it's going to forever change their strategy going forward.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like, like our e-commerce business really grew a lot during that time, and one of the things that we really and we're still working to make this better. I mean, it's always a work in progress, but we noticed that there was a lot more people who would buy through the site and then come pick up in the store and then shop in the store, and we're just trying to better marry our online presence to the awesomeness that's our brick and mortar presence. Because our brick and mortar stores, I mean, I'll tell you right now, they're some of the best in the country. Like, I mean, like they are show-stopping stores, great service, great selection, great environment, great layouts. Our online's gotten a lot better, but that's not where we started. So we're constantly trying to kind of take the two and make that experience seamless, so that way when people come here, they get the same experience from here. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Steve, it's always a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure to have you, on board here and to come on the show after all these years. Always having you on there, right? Right, right, right. So, before I let you go, can you tell folks where they can find you, man? And come on in because I know you're right there.
Absolutely. So you can find us on the web at thirdeyecomics.com. We have stores in Annapolis, Maryland, Lexington Park, Maryland, Waldorf, Maryland, College Park, Maryland, and Richmond, Virginia. We social media, Instagram at Third Eye Comics, Twitter at Third Eye Comics, Facebook Third Eye Comics. And yeah, I mean, come see us at any of those places. We'd love to have you, Yeah.
Well, there you guys. Well, there you guys have it. Again, I want to thank Steve. I'm your host, co-creator Brandon Choi. I will see you guys next time. Peace.